Hello, Book 2. I got a really, I hope it's short, video for you. It's certainly a small book haul. Last night in town, we had our 11th annual library fundraiser. It's called the Town Challenge. And different groups around the town will make a team. 3 people, and you can have an alternate if you want. 8 rounds. And it's almost like Jeopardy. There's a dice. They throw the dice. It actually has 7 categories, but they split current events and sports. Then they have our town history, geography, literature, because it's a library function. I can't remember what everything is. History, and then the teams compete, and then they go up on a plaque. They get plastic trophies, but they go up on a plaque at the library as part of the fundraiser. We did that last night. I went late, 9:30 at night. Garden club, library, friends of the library, town office. I don't want to forget any. Historical Society won, as usual. Smart bunch of folks over there. Weathersfield Historical Society. So I'm in Vermont, and I'm a library director here, and this is the reference point. So I had a great time. I was the timekeeper. My buddy was the MC. Another buddy was a judge. We had one guy, old state rep and select board member, who would play snippets of music that you had to guess, and that's another category. And the theme this year was television theme songs. Now we have a group of the teachers from the school. We have a group of alumni from the school, but we have young school. Our school goes to 8th grade, and then they have to go out of town to go to high school because the town's so small. So we have them. So he's got to be a little careful to make it fair. So old guys like me wouldn't have too much of an advantage. But it was fun. Then this morning we got up early, Deb and I, my wife, and drove my son to work, and then we drove down to go to a Costco in West Springfield, Massachusetts, because that's where we'll pile up on stuff every couple months, because there's really no places to shop around here. And then we went to Holyoke, Massachusetts, to go to an Apple store to get my son's phone fixed. And then, because we drove by a big Barnes & Noble, I got the okay. Now, I only picked up 2 things. But that's okay. If they're the right things, it's fine. I'm going to show you both. One is Maritime, and one is the classical era of literature and myth and all that. So I'm going to start here to make it easy. The first is a magazine, the second is a book. So this is a magazine I've read many times. This is the back of it. Many of you know I'm an ex-Coast Guardsman, and I have a great love for maritime stuff. And this is the winter 2024 edition of Sea History. And there's a couple things that caught my eye in here. You'll see that it's a very beautiful magazine. I used to, when I worked at a maritime museum, would read this every time it came out. And loved it. But it has a great, in this case, a great Coast Guard story. Well, here's the Queen Mary. Feeling the role. Memories of the RMS Queen Mary powering through an Atlantic storm. So you get good stuff like this. They had a painting in here that's magnificent. I'll find it for you. Well, there's one on the bottom here that ain't too bad. And they'll have stuff, tall ships. It goes all through different eras and stuff. There, but I have one I want to find for you. Let's see where we're at. Oh, right here. Right here. So when I was in Coast Guard, I was obviously involved in drug operations, and I was on a 378-foot cutter to start with. Then I was on 44-foot motor lifeboats, which was search and rescue, heavy weather, and I was the coxswain of those, so that meant I was in command of those. And then I was on 41-foot UTVs in District 7, which is Florida, which was, again, search and rescue, but primarily drug patrols. And that, in the background, is a 378, the kind of ship I was on. It wasn't my ship. And this is the kind of stuff you'd bring into the dock. So it'll be an interesting story for me to... What's even more interesting is the Ingram, which is a high-endurance cutter, but from generations prior. I've actually been on that too. That's going to be a museum, or is a museum, down in Key West, Florida, which I didn't know about, so I'm glad to find out about it. I'll go visit it. But this is a painting I wanted to show. They always do something like this. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, I'll spend a couple hours with this and really have a good time. And anyway, a magazine. They had a big newsstand there, which I don't usually see around here. Well, I don't ever see around here, not usually. But the next book was really cool because I didn't know about it. Or if I knew about it, I forgot about it. I may have seen it in a catalog somewhere, just never followed up. It's by Edith Hamilton, and she wrote this famous book, Mythology, which, Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes. You'll see here is Hercules carrying Cerberus. You got, let's see here, the Minotaur and the Labyrinth. So you get the idea what these are. And when I grew up, these were the most famous. Well, there's Bullfinch's Mythology, which when I was growing up, everybody got to eventually. And then but the popular retelling of things was Edith Hamilton. And then you have the Harpies and the Argonauts. So you get the idea. Then the other thing, and I've always had a copy. This is a paperback, and it's in fine shape. But I've had it in many different editions. And then this is 2 volumes in one. And this is Edith Hamilton again, The Greek Way and the Roman Way, 2 volumes in one. So, and this originally came from somebody else's library. Oh, personal library. There's a book plate, which is nice because it adds a little history to the book. More than 2,500 years ago, 2 of history's great civilizations flourished. One, the ancient Athens of Plato, Sophocles, and Euripides, and the other, the Rome of Cicero, or Cicero, depending on who you talk to, Horace and Virgil. But what distinguished these 2 nations from the rest of antiquity? The Greek Way and the Roman Way. Edith Hamilton, famed classicist and author, answers this question as she leads us through some of the most brilliant writings of all time. From the minds of the great ancient masters came thoughts, impressions, and observations of that which was uniquely Greek and Roman, and also that which has proven to be an enduring legacy for humankind. So yeah, you'll get the philosophers, the poets, everything. And that was really a lot of my introduction to this stuff. So she's always been sort of a constant. So I went into this Barnes & Noble, and this is what I found. Many of you may know about it. I didn't know about it. Like I say, I don't know about it. American Classicist, The Life and Loves of Edith Hamilton. This is cool. By Victoria Houseman. Princeton University Press, Princeton and Oxford. And this is from 2023. Let me just read a little bit. I was very excited to find this. I wonder if there's any photographs. I didn't even stop to look. Oh, yeah, I guess they're on the pages. They're not like a section or anything. So this is Edith Hamilton as headmistress of Bryn Mawr Schools around 1916. So that must be how, and the copious notes. Here she is on the stage of the Herodes Atticus on August 1957 when she was made an honorary citizen of Athens. I didn't know about that. Well, there's probably tons of stuff I don't know about this stuff. So there are photographs, which is sort of cool. And now I'll get to learn her story. Where is she here? She's looking pretty cool with a mortarboard here. Edith Hamilton upon her graduation from Bryn Mawr in 1894. So here, let me read it to you a little bit. The biography of a remarkable woman whose best-selling mythology has introduced millions of readers to the classical world, that's for sure. Edith Hamilton lived from 1867 to 1963, so during my lifetime she was around. Didn't publish her first book until she was 62. I did not know that. But over the next 3 decades, this former headmistress would become the 20th century's most famous interpreter of the classical world. Today, Hamilton's mythology from 1942 remains the standard version of ancient tales and sells tens of thousands of copies per year. During the Cold War, her influence even extended to politics, as she argued that post-war America could learn from the fate of Athens after its victory in the Persian Wars. An American classicist, Victoria Hausman, tells a fascinating life story of a remarkable classicist whose ideas were shaped by and inspired to shape her times. Hamilton studied Latin and Greek from an early age, earning a BA and an MA from Bryn Mawr College, and ran a girls' prep school for 26 years. After retiring, she turned to writing and began a relationship with the pianist and stockbroker Doris Fielding Reed. The two women were partners for more than 40 years and entertained journalists, diplomats, and politicians in their Washington, D.C. house. Hamilton traveled extensively around the world, formed friendships with Gertrude Stein and Ezra Pound, and was made an honorary citizen of Athens. While Hamilton believed that the ancient Greeks represented the peak of world civilization, Hausman shows that this suffragist, pacifist, and anti-imperialist was far from an apologist for Western triumphalism. An absorbing narrative of an eventful life, American classicist reveals how Hamilton's Greek and Roman worlds held up a mirror to mid-century America, even as she strived to convey a timeless beauty that continues to enthrall readers. They're wonderful books. I haven't read this one, but the ones I showed you. Victoria Hausman is a historian and associate professor of Department of History and Philosophy at the University of Wisconsin, River Falls. And there she is. I am very excited about this. This is a person I've been reading since I can remember. I mean, I know I didn't read him when I was 7, but I mean, I would have been in my early teens when I first read mythology. And I had read the Greek way and Roman way either earliest years in high school, well, certainly before the end of high school. And then in college, again, you'd revisit them. So this is very exciting to me. If any of you know it, leave me a line. So it's actually, been out a year and a half, 2 years. Didn't even know about it. Thrilled to find it. Goes right to the top of the TBR. I got some other projects going on. The Heinlein book, The Star Beast. Oh, it's not going so well. That's for the Heinlein 2025 project, but I will finish it by the end of the month. And then the Engines of God by Jack McDevitt, I'm doing with the New Futurians. That's a good book thus far, so I need to make time for it. But things have been a bit hectic in a good way. Beautiful day, blue skies. Started the morning, it was about 23 degrees Fahrenheit, so a little nippy. But we've been really fortunate. The spring has turned out to be a good one. So, you just got to watch out. Vermont's 50% dirt roads. That's just the way it is. And you got to be careful of the mud. Things are thawing. You get big, deep grooves in them, and they freeze overnight. Rattle your teeth. So you just watch where you're going. So anyway, BookTube, I hope you're having a great weekend. I had a great weekend, and we will talk.